Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike the Baldadonis, and on this video, we're going to talk about what happened to me over the weekend. And as a newbie, as in YouTuber, I started this YouTube mid-November, end of November. And my second video that I made was about steroid abuse and how I abused them. Over the weekend, something happened, and I can't explain it. All I know is that video went from 480 views to 6,800 views in 3 days. And an onslaught of, I'm an idiot, you know, steroids doesn't ruin your health, it doesn't give you heart attacks. Well, so let's go back in time. I just spent 5 years, 3 months in prison. 1992 to 1997. All I had in those days were magazines, some books, no internet, no one to really give me a lot of information about steroids. So when I came home, matter of fact, I didn't want to do steroids at first. And I ended up buying just a lot of, protein and whatever was available, GABA, stuff like that. This is 20 years ago. And I'm still getting crap for it right now, which I find kind of weird because it was so long ago, and yet people think I just experienced this. No, this happened 20 years ago. I had a heart attack 15 years ago. And how'd that come about? Well, after supplements didn't do anything for me, then I was looking for the next step. Because why do people work out, or why do people want to enhance their body to the point that they want to do steroids? It comes down to a few things. Peer pressure. Do you want to look like the guy next to you, or maybe a celebrity or somebody at the beach? You want to have a particular look, so you're usually unhappy with your body. That's what it comes down to. People are unhappy with their body, and for me, I'm at 6'4", 215 pounds when I got out of prison. Now, when I came home, you got to remember, guys, I'm detuning my mental health to get back into society. Back in '97, nobody was shaving their head. Nobody. There was one older guy in my gym that had just a natural bald head. He didn't even shave his head. So I'm walking around at 27 years old in 1997 with a shaved head. The first thing I'm thinking of is people are going to assume I'm a skinhead or something like that. There wasn't many of us around with shaved heads. So I have this particular look in 1997. I'm ripped. Well, yeah, I was in pretty good shape. I'm 215. I'm ripped up a little bit. I have a little bit of muscle development. And the supplements didn't do anything for me. It just didn't really do anything. So I was like, all right, let's go to the next step. So I have one person that wanted to know, well, what did I do and how much did I take? Well, the first step I was taking was a lot of Winstrol V. Now, back then, I didn't have internet to do my homework. I was relying on the gym guy, that gym guy, whoever can get me anything that I can put my hands on. So I was naive to take whatever I was getting. And you know what? A lot of that stuff is counterfeit. You know, a lot of that oil or steroids that might be in there, some of it's cut with oil, peanut oil. You don't know what you're getting. This is a long time ago, guys. So it's not like today's internet. You can do all your homework. You can see everybody talking about it. But I just didn't have that information. So I was grasping. I wanted to try whatever. So yes, I got Winstrol V, vials of that. I was going through those. D-ball, orals, tren. But the thing that actually made me from 215 to 192 was the Winstrol V. Now I get somebody telling me that it's not a cutting agent. Well, it cut me up. I lost all the weight. So that worked for me, but not in the way I wanted, because I didn't know which way or how the steroids were gonna affect me. Everybody's different. So in order for me to look like my heroes on Flex Magazine or Muscle Mags, Dorian Yates, Flex Wheeler, Mike Moderato, Paul DeMeo, all those guys, I wanted to look like that. So the challenge was on, whatever I can get my hands on. So at the end of the day, DECA proved to be the one steroid that actually made me grow like no other. So after getting around 250 pounds, 260 pounds, you know, I look just like any other regular bodybuilder. You know, your traps are up to your neck, you're fucking huge, you know? But I was sweating a lot. There's a lot of side effects. People are telling me there's no side effects. People are saying that steroids do not give you a heart attack. Well, I suffered a heart attack. A valve in my heart closed down to 42%. Naturally, or anybody in healthy condition is usually around 70. So 68 to 74, I believe, is the range. So after all this time, after 15 years, I'm actually back up to around 68%. And I have to see my cardiologist every year. He kept that back to every other year. So I'm finally starting to see the results of 15 years of not doing anything. And what else? So I have asthma from it. Finally, the past 2 years, it's been getting less and less and less. So I did have asthma because of the steroids. What else? Anxiety is my number one problem from the steroids. I still have anxiety. It's not as bad, but I'm doing YouTube just to let you guys know there's potential dangers. I'm not beating up on anybody saying don't take steroids. If you're gonna take steroids, do your homework. But you know you're taking a substance that chemically is going to change your body. So you're running that risk. If you smoke cigarettes long enough, you're going to get cancer. You drink booze long enough, you're going to get, you know, liver damage. It's, yeah, you guys sometimes can get away with it here and there. You know, you take a cycle. You got to remember me. I just came out of jail. The first thing I'm thinking of is, well, first thing I was thinking of is vagina. Vagina, ass, and boobs. What gym I want to go to, and supplements. And then the steroids kicked in after that. Steroids took me about 6 months after prison to get me hooked up. But because I see all these people denying it, saying steroids do not give you heart attacks. Well, I'm telling you it does. Just because maybe right now you're lucky, you're not suffering anything, sooner or later it will. And yes, I went overboard. I was consuming whatever I get my hands on. I wanted to be huge. I didn't want to stay lean and maybe a little bit heavier. Guys, I gained 105 pounds in 5 years. So what's that going to do to my heart? You know? Then I'm on medication. As soon as I had a heart attack, I was weighing around 260. After the heart attack, taking medications, I still grew. I got up to 296 pounds. You know, I was still just this huge dude, but all those health problems, walking up the stairs, out of breath, sweating, you know, having fucking heart palpitations every day for years and years and years. That's why I'm just like, is it worth it? I mean, why are we doing steroids? Because we're not happy with our body. Why can't you be happy with what you have? Why can't you be your best version of yourself? And that's it. You think the guy next to you cares at all, you know, that you're being the best person that you're doing or how big you are. Your friends might care about how big you're getting, but they're not the ones that are gonna suffer the health issues. I had one friend just like that. He cheered me on, keep getting bigger, keep getting bigger, keep getting bigger. But I'm the idiot for taking all the steroids. Now, these videos were mostly made to tell my story. Yes, I have a bunch of stories. It's not just about steroids, it's about all different topics. And for mostly my friends and family to see, and for the world to chime in every once in a while, that's great. You know? So what happened over the weekend? I had 480 views on the steroid abuse video since November. Now it's at 6,800 with all the comments. So it worked me up. I already have anxiety, so as I'm reading some of the comments and the people just telling me that it was my eating and not the steroids up to 5 years, come on, man. You know, now I'm getting worked up because I know steroids do damage. If they haven't done damage to you yet, they will. There's something, you can't put steroids in your body for a long period of time and not have any ill effects. It's simple as that. You know, you want to shit on me? Go ahead. You know what I mean? But look at all the bodybuilders. Just Google bodybuilders that are dead, Google wrestlers that are dead, football players, anything you want that has to do with having muscular bodies or strong bodies. Look at all the death has happened with steroid abuse. It's right there. Those ain't lying. You know? I had two friends. One friend that I was not training with, but he was a friend that helped me get some of this stuff, okay? Now, he did it smart, very little, just to keep a certain weight, but it caught up to him. He had a heart attack 2 years ago. You know what he blamed it on? Eating a hot dog. Come on, man. Really? And then your doctor tells you that, go ahead and go back and do steroids, you're okay. What doctor's gonna tell you that? The other kid, same thing. He blamed it on something else. You know, steroids are doing that to you. Not the food, yeah. Is it hereditary? Yeah, maybe. But it's kind of coincidental that you're doing steroids and you have a heart attack. Come on. All right. So yeah, I mean, but from all you guys lashing out on me, thank you very much. Because I had a bunch of people go back and basically tell you to shut up because you don't know what you're talking about. And I want to thank you guys very much. Now I went from 60 subscribers to 91 in 3 days. In 3 days, I went up 6,000 views on that video. So thank you, haters. Thank you, people that think steroids are healthy for you. And thank you very much for boosting up my videos. You know, I'm not trying to brag about my videos. I'm just letting people know there's dangers. And if I can save this one person from having the same issues that I had, or any kind of health issues from doing steroids, then I did my job. That's all this is to help somebody else. You know, peer pressure is the #1 thing. Try this, you know, you're in a room surrounded by all these big people doing all this heavy lifting, you know, and you feel like a little dweeb or something. The people that do steroids are usually the people that are this big, 5'5", 5'6". Why? Because they were puny growing up. Those are the juice heads. I did steroids because I'm 6'4" and I couldn't gain muscle. Well, I had some muscle, but I wanted to have a lot of muscle. But that was my goal, to be huge. It was not to be just a little bit bigger. No, I wanted to be Dorian Yates. I wanted to be Flexwell. I wanted to be gigantic. That was my goal. I achieved my goal, and I got sick from it. Now I still live with health issues. So that's all I wanted to say. I just want to find that it was very nerve-wracking seeing all these views because I'm not used to having, I only have a few subscribers and I only have you know, maybe on a couple of good videos, a couple hundred people watching them. But when I got over 4,000 views, I was like, what the hell is going on? And then people just slamming me. I wasn't used to that. But I just have to learn to not read all my comments. So thank you very much, everybody that's subscribed. The basis of my videos is variety, living with steroids. I have vertigo. I have all the health issues that maybe was from steroids. Some of it is later on because, you know, as we get older. Now remember, that was 20 years ago. 15 years ago was the heart attack. Now I have vertigo because environmental pollution. We have sickness from GMOs in our food. Now somebody made a comment about, I don't know how big you are, but my 18-year-old brother looks bigger than you. Well, maybe he is. Maybe he's just a big fat fuck from eating GMOs, cake, and everything else. So good for him. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be the biggest guy in the world anymore. I just want to be a healthy guy and spread knowledge where I can. Eat organic as much as possible. No GMOs as much as possible. You know, why you have migraines, why you bloated, you have leaky gut. There's something that you're eating that you're always feeling sick. So that's what I'm talking about on my videos. I have some silly videos with Gary from the gym. We do Conspiracy Theory Thursdays. I talk to people about ownerships of their cars. I buy and sell cars as a hobby. I'm going to a dealership tomorrow, one of my friends, and I'm gonna try to do a video about what to look out for when buying used cars. You know, the scams and stuff like that. So I'm very versatile with this channel. I talked about organic food, how much it costs versus non-organic. I have a mentor, is Dr. Peter Pococo, and he talks a lot of good topics as well. You see him every other Wednesday, and I'm looking for more people that have health issues to tell their story, because I hear about it every single day in the gym. They're fine talking to me about their health issues. So when I ask them, do you want to do a video about it and share it to the world? Because when something goes wrong with us, the first thing we do is we go online, type in what health issue we have, and it gives a list, right? There's many things with our issues. And if there's a video about someone that has that health issue, they can feel not appreciated, but what's the word I'm looking for? They can relate to that person. You know, if that person can give them a positive message, what to expect, how to deal with it, I think that will be a great thing. So I have many people that are on the verge of doing videos with me with their health issues. It's just getting that next step, getting them on camera, and letting the world listen to their health issues, because I think we need more people to have an understanding of when you see somebody at the gym or you see somebody at work, they have fibromyalgia or whatever it's pronounced, what they're really going through, because you just hear the word of their illness, their cancer or whatever it might be, you just don't know what it details. So I want to get these people to share their experiences. And so look forward to a lot more videos from me. And thank you so much for the subscriptions, the thumbs up. You know, all you haters, you're the best, because it drives in more people and you can have a conversation about, you know, whatever it might be. You know, it leaves me out of it. Now I'm not even getting involved in that stuff because I know better, you know better. Steroids will mess you up one way or the other, sooner or later. If you don't think so, that's on you. But I know better. So until the next video, guys, Baldadonis out. I don't know if I can shut this thing off.